Tuesday 9th of October 2018, allegedly. Patients are being asked, would you pay £10 to see GP quicker in new survey sent out by Surgeries? The questionnaire seeks views on private health and confidence in your doctor. I have no confidence in any doctors. It will also ask how often they see their GP and whether NHS is well funded. Well, I never see a GP. I don't need to see a GP, so I don't. And is the NHS well funded? Yes, it's overly funded, but you've got a bunch of crooks at the top stealing all the money. Results will be anonymous, but doctors leaders fear they pass to private firms. So this is about privatising the NHS. It's not about paying £10 for the doctors. Of course, you start by paying £10 to the doctors, who are handsomely paid anyway, by the way. And this is just a stepping stone to privatisation of the NHS, plain and simple. European Union Army activated and ready to replace NATO, reveals German Defence Minister. But we're leaving the EU, Mark. No, we're not. German Defence Minister Ursula von der Leyen says the structures for a European Defence Union have been activated and also hopes to develop a system that tells Europeans when to use their forces. The dictatorship is forming, and thankfully many are becoming aware, hopefully due to me putting all the stuff out and things, but however you find out doesn't matter, as long as we find out and put an end to this absolute bullshit. Surgeons admit that mammography is outdated and harmful to women. Every year, millions of women flock to their doctors to get their annual mammograms, a breast cancer screening procedure that involves pressing a woman's breast between two metal plates, platforms to scope out tumours. Down at the thick black line there, group of top medical experts admits mammography does more harm than good. Now, I've been saying this for a long time, warning women not to go and get one of these bleeding things because it causes cancer. Think about it. They squash your tit between two metal plates and then radiate it. Medical cannabis available on prescription within a month. Medical cannabis will be available on prescription in the UK within a month, the Telegraph can reveal. But wait a minute. Theresa May said cannabis has no medical benefits. Then I'd like to ask Theresa May, why is your husband growing 40 acres of it if it's no medical benefit? And why are we, the UK, the biggest supplier of cannabis to the world? More corruption in Parliament, as you can see. Now, this is going to, again, more stuff. Police drop 1 million crimes without investigating them, report reveals. Almost 1 million crimes have been dropped by police with little or no investigation, a report has revealed. The offences were logged and reported in 2016 and 2017, but never passed to an officer to investigate, police forces reveal. Up to 27.02% of crimes were reported to have been screened out in this way, Channel 4 Dispatches programme found. Now this proves the police, as they are not fit for purpose. They are absolutely useless waste of time, just corporation enforcers. That's all they've become, and that's why this is pushing for getting rid of the police and private police, which will be even worse. More bullshit from the pigs. I locked myself in car as Westminster Bridge attacker struck, says Met Chief. Well, you're a coward and you're in with it, obviously. A Met Police chief locked himself and two unarmed colleagues inside his official car for protection as alleged terrorist, it should say there, Khalid Massoud, stormed the gates of Parliament, he told an inquest today. So he's a hero then, because he locked himself in his car with two other unarmed. So three pigs apparently locked themselves in a car. That's not their job. Their job is to protect, or supposedly, except all their job has been corporate thugs. Senior doctors accuse government of deliberately underfunding NHS to accelerate privatisation plans. Department of Health says motion passed by BMA has no relationship with reality. The government is deliberately underfunding the NHS in an attempt to speed up its plans to privatise the healthcare and make it like America, where you have to pay for everything. And it's very close to getting there as well, unless we stand up and put a stop to it. And we need to put a stop to it because it's an attempt to murder the general public, those that aren't wealthy enough to afford Bupa or whatever other bullshit's out there. But the BBC must be beyond reproach, mustn't they? Of course they. Oh wait. More than 100 BBC stars facing tax avoidance inquiry, HMRC reveals. More than 100 BBC presenters are under investigation for allegedly tax avoidance after being suspected of wrongly using personal service companies to minimise their tax bills, HMRC reveals. Now these bastards get more money than you or I, and they're still not paying tax. To be fair, they shouldn't be. Nobody should be paying tax, apart from corporations. And as it is at the moment, it's skew-whiffed 180 degrees the opposite way around, because the poorest men, women pay tax, the mega rich corporations don't. Spin it round so that the corporations pay tax, we wouldn't have to. Of course, tax is just theft anyway, whichever way you look at it. Now, something for all you McDonald's lovers. Live maggots discovered in McDonald's ketchup dispenser, and there's the pictures to prove it. McDonald's is the most classically terrible fast food chain in existence. The people who just grew up in America poisoned were raised on McDonald's. McDonald's is the food of the Flint, Michigan generation. Still fancy a McDonald's? Did you ever fancy a McDonald's? Bearing in mind, of course, I said in a few previous reports that Rabbi Finkelstein has admitted that they use McDonald's after they've abused the children, raped them, abused them, then murdered them. They use McDonald's to chuck the bodies in, and they get ground up, and you end up eating it if you go to McDonald's. The Times. The invisible pollution inside your home. Why our children have so many allergies? Because of the poison in the food. Nothing to do with the stuff inside your home, apart from the chemicals that you spray around willy-nilly that are poisonous. Hammond urged to act over Facebook's poultry tax bill. Another mega corporation that pays virtually no tax. Couldn't make it up. You really couldn't. Blood test can identify those at risk of heart attack. Now let's get back to some of the bullshit propaganda, shall we? Military doctor named as second Novichok spy. Alexander Mishkin helped GRU colonel. Wait a minute. He helped the GRU colonel who's dead. The one that used time travel to come to England and apparently attack the Skripals. To carry out Salisbury attack, claims website. Well, if a website claims it, it must be true. Because nobody could ever set up a website and then claim anything they wanted, could they? Oh wait, yeah, everyone does. Aye. Austerity map of Britain. Cuts in England twice as deep as rest of UK. In other words, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Because we're run by a bunch of treasonous scumbags that need removing. Tested. The face cream that costs £990. Only a moron would buy that shit. Now I'm going to say something now which you may find a little bit but I guarantee you it works. Your own pee. You quite often pee on my hands when I go to the toilet, and my hands are so soft you will be shocked. So guess what? You can rub it on your face as well, and it is very, very good for your skin. What do you think are in most of these creams? Usually it's cow or horse urine. Use your own. It is far better. And let's face it, you know what you've put in your body, and if you put the right stuff in, it'll be clear and odourless that comes out. If you put shit in, it'll be coloured and stinky. So, are you treating your body right? You know, this thing that you've got that will last you a lifetime, whether that's a short lifetime or a long lifetime, depends on how you treat it. Top cop stayed in car as terror attack unfolded. More propaganda, but if it was say that it had been real, then they're a bunch of cowards. Poor White House on making only fools and horses into a musical. Sugary drinks to be curbed in hospitals. Junker does the Maybot. Yes, I'm dancing on all the graves of those I've killed by cutting benefits and basically sobbing them to death. The Maybot. The North demands share of Brexit dividend. £40 DNA test can predict risk of heart attack. Individuals who do not have high cholesterol and blood pressure can be identified at early age. Current assessment of lifestyle and clinical condition misses large number of people who go on to develop problems. Children or even toddlers could be screened to ensure they are offered preventative help throughout their lives. Now all this stuff that's coming out sounds great, and some of it may be. However, I'm not doing any of it until this treasonous government, or should we say this treasonous parliament, is ended, and the politicians that have caused so many deaths in this country are locked up, along with the royals, of course, and there's certain doctors that are evil satanic bastards as well. And if you want straight off the bat, the McCanns, they're satanic bastards that killed their own kid. But hey, until they're all locked up, I ain't going anywhere near any of this shit. The Guardian. Revealed sharp rise as Met users force on suspects 270 times a day. That means unlawfully assaulting men, women and children 270 times a day. Have we had enough of this bullshit? Every Freemason that's in any job of any power, which is all chief constables, needs to be locked up. And the lower levels, the gold commander, the silver commander, all that sort of bullshit, they're all Freemasons as well. They need locking up as well. And I've seen it firsthand, so I know how corrupt they are. Moral duty to act now on climate leaders told. Utter bullshit. They're just playing this shit again because they've got something planned down the line. So that's why this is getting all the press at the moment. And back to more utter bullshit propaganda. Second Novichok suspect identified. Oh, like the Colonel who's dead. But apparently you've got a picture of him walking down somewhere. Yeah, right. React to the environmental crisis with hope. There is no environmental crisis. The crisis is all those evil bastards that are running the world, which you can trace back to the Vatican and the Rothschilds. But don't worry, the Rothschilds' time on this planet is very, very short, or it will be soon. Have you looked in the mirror? Parasite exclusive. Now taxpayers face £250,000 bill for tidying up after Eugene's wedding. Taking us to the cleaners. Yep. Dolly, I couldn't wait to jump into bed with Bert. He certainly had his fair share of women. In fact, I think he had most people's share of women. But that just proves he was a heterosexual guy, which is good. You are cha-cha chucked. Viewer's girlfriend leaves Star Sean after he snogs dancer. And that's the main headline. What is it with these shitty papers? They think this is important. Someone's been dumped. Well, let's put that on the front page then. What about the paedophile investigation going on in Nottingham? No, we don't need to pay any attention to that because that'll just attract attention to all the paedophiles. And let's face it, the head of the papers are all paedophiles, I suspect. Daily fail. Liar Sean called me a psycho for suspecting he was cheating. Fury of Strictly Star, now ex-girlfriend. Revealed. Chain's bread is churned out in foreign factory. Fresh Pret baguettes are up to a year old. Well, if that's true, I'm guessing that Pret a Manga is finished. Second allergy death victim is mother of 5. Metro. Strictly dumped over Katea kiss. Victim. Well, that's it. Victim of prep rap is mum of 5. Nurse collapsed during family lunch at Christmas. Why is it taking 10 months to hit the papers then, if it happened at Christmas? Express. Vanessa Phelps, how easy it is to be bewitched by the Strictly spell I was. Yeah, right. Criminal thin blue line gets thinner. Fury as police cuts are killing off front desk officers. TV's Kate, humble on beating the horror of insomnia. Hey, you know what else cures insomnia? Cannabis oil. Tell lie graph. Strictly Star girlfriend, he called me a psycho. You do look like one, to be fair. UK refuses to take back ISIL fighters from Syria. Officials block return of 9 Britons as CPS says it cannot prosecute Beatles. Bullshit, that's fake news. Second Salisbury assassin is named. More fake news. Google Plus to shut after huge security breach. Ah, well, we better embrace this cashless society then, because everything internet-wise is falling to bits. So if you get that chip, or wherever you're going to get it, you mental idiots, then the system crashes. You can't buy food. You can't buy petrol. You can't buy anything. Still think it was a good idea to get them chips? We cannot let Putin redraw the map of Eastern Europe by the paedophile William Hague. See, if you're in Parliament and you're a paedophile, you get to carry on writing for the papers and being an MP, member of paedophiles. Anything but independent. Kim Sengupta. Skripal hitmen's role in Crimea siege. Bullshit. Why Taylor kept quiet about politics. Shame stars don't deserve redemption. What next for the Murdoch dynasty? Hopefully it'll crash and burn. Eden 2018, frontline of the water wars. Iraq's Mesopotamian marshes, thought to be the inspiration for the Garden of Eden, are facing drought. UK ditched death penalty objection to placate US. Javid hoped to please Trump by handing over ISIS gang, court told. When are you going to get it? The government aren't here to look after you. They don't care about you. Their job is to exterminate you. That's their only job. And unless we exterminate them first, they may just win. Financial Times. Brazil moves closer to election Bolsonaro. Britain's film industry fears that Brexit will hinder action. Property could be the trigger for the next crisis. Oh, there's a crisis coming, all right. And property will be affected. Brussels basher. Salvini's attack on EU exasperates Italian bond sell-off. IMF urges UK to lift public spending after hard Brexit. Fund view at odds with Hammond. Advice as budget deadline looms. See you tomorrow. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.